This program is part of the Cosmic Potato Podcast Network. For more shows like this, visit our website at cosmicpotato.com.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
I am Iron Man. That's a big twink.
Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds.
You are a toy!
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Why so serious?
The city's flying. We're fighting an army of robots. And I have a bow and arrow. None of this makes sense.
And welcome to World War G episode 219. I'm Troy.
I'm AJ.
And I'm Colton.
Okay. Everybody's together. Microphones are working.
Yes.
Yes, everything's
Check.
good. So we should be fine.
Let's start this podcast.
All right. So last night marked the season finale of the 44th season of Saturday Night Live.
Oh,
Final.
man.
I'm just kidding.
No, definitely not final.
They're never going to die.
I don't think so.
They just make too much money
Yeah.
to justify that.
And it was hosted by Paul Rudd. And the musical guest was DJ Khaled, which turns out I don't like DJ Khaled.
Weird.
There's lots of people you don't like as of late.
Any hip hop star? Is a pretty good start.
No.
How do you feel like Post Malone?
I haven't heard enough to give a assessment of Post
I heard
Malone.
that he's really nice, but he looks like a piece
Yeah.
of Subway garbage.
I saw him
actually-
on Good Mythical Morning.
Yeah.
And that was really funny. He was really good on that.
Mm-hmm.
He lived like about 5 minutes away from me for quite a while.
Really?
Because he lives up in Morgan.
He lives in Morgan,
Yeah.
currently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
I
lives
think
here.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Occasionally they'll have stories about sightings of Post Malone. It's like Bigfoot. It'll pop up in local newspapers.
Ah, there he is. Especially because he stands out like in this little small podunk town, and then you've got him. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of hip hop stars. I like Eminem.
He's a rap. He's not hip hop.
Bruno Mars.
I guess he's not bad.
I like Bruno Mars. See, I'm hip.
Hop. Hippity to the hop.
I'm with it. Yeah, but DJ Khaled, I don't like him. Anyway, so I found this list. Sorry, we're starting out with the list.
Yes.
What?
And
it never happens.
I know. And this is 31 people, now famous people, mostly comedians, who were rejected by Saturday Night Live.
Like as guests or as like actual cast members?
Cast members.
I think a lot of the times, like, it comes down to what they've got available, their schedule, what it looks like, and a few other things.
Not so much with casting.
Really?
Yeah. Because a lot of these they auditioned way before that they became famous.
Okay.
So for whatever reason that the audition just didn't go well or whatever. But once you hear the list, you'll be like, really?
They didn't make the
accept
cut? Yeah.
So number 1, Jim Carrey auditioned for Saturday Night Live and did not make it.
I'm like trying to think of his really early career and stuff, but he was funnier back in the day.
He's like such a character-oriented person. You'd think he'd be perfect for SNL.
You'd think. And every time he's hosted SNL, it's been really funny. Number 2, Steve Carell.
Same.
His wife made it. His wife was a cast member of SNL for a while. Number 3, Donald Glover.
Dong Lover?
Dong Lover.
Dong Glover.
Wasn't his first thing Community?
I think it was one of them.
His first big thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Really what kicked off his career, yeah. Number 4, Paul Rubens. Pee Wee Herman himself.
I'm like, who's that? And then you said Pee Wee Herman. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah.
He's got the one thing.
He's got his niche.
Yeah.
The one trick pony.
Yeah. It would be funny to see Pee Wee Herman on SNL, though.
Oh, yeah.
As kind of a recurring character.
As him,
Could have been funny.
as Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
That's a good Pee Wee Herman laugh. Number 5, Stephen Colbert. Which I find Stephen Colbert very funny. Like I usually watch his show.
but he's not skit funny. He's just really clever.
He's improv funny. Yeah. When he's given scripted stuff, you're right. He's hit and miss. Like he was okay when he guest starred in The Office there as Broccoli Rob. And he's been okay in like some animated stuff, but yeah. Number 6, Aubrey Plaza.
She's more ironically funny than she is funny, and I don't think that would be a good fit. And neither did SNL. So.
Like, I agree with SNL.
Number 7, Zach Galifianakis.
See, this is surprising because this is like SNL is Zach Galifianakis.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he does. Yeah.
And he's hosted 3 times.
Like his show Between Two Ferns, like.
Yeah. He's like a Steve Carell in the fact that he's so deadpan.
Yeah.
But what he says is so funny, and he's so awkward.
I know. I don't know how he can keep a straight face with some of this.
That takes skill right there.
I don't know either. Number 8, Kevin Hart.
You don't like Kevin Hart anyways, so.
I like him.
Burned out.
I'm burned out. Yes, that's a good way to put it. I like him as a person. I've seen him interviewed, and I think he's funny, but yeah, I'm a little burned out on Kevin Hart.
I'm trying to think that I don't know if he would work so well. It wouldn't. Maybe like now, but beforehand, I don't think it would have worked so well because he was mainly just doing like stand up, correct?
Well, and it's hard because Kevin Hart plays Kevin Hart. Like that's his role in every single movie.
Yeah,
it doesn't change.
Or kind of adapt to it, yeah.
Maybe that's why I'm burned out on him, because I don't like actors that do that.
Like Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah, and Will Ferrell and Adam Sandler, David Spade. They're all the same. Yeah.
Okay, Will Ferrell did Stranger Than Fiction, which is still one of my favorite movies.
That's a good movie.
Right?
I'll give you that. That's
and
a good movie.
It's weird, like, because you'll get these ones where they do, like, a completely opposite role, like Jim Carrey, what was it, The Majestic? Yeah. Like, those ones that you're just like, oh, they actually can really act. Mm-hmm. You know,
like
but for the most...
23.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
But then, for the most part, they just kind of stick with what their bread and butter, which... Yeah.
Something that comes easy to them.
Number 9. You may not know this guy, David Cross.
And this is actually really surprising for me. Like, he's somebody that I could totally see on SNL.
He made his own sketch show with a guy who plays Better Call Saul. What the heck is his name?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But yeah, they made their own sketch show. Number 10, John Goodman.
I don't really see him much as a comedic actor anymore. No, especially recently, since he's just all been doing serious roles.
Mm-hmm.
He can be funny because he's hosted a lot. He's hosted 13 times. So he can be funny, but yeah. Number 11, Lisa Kudrow. Which was probably, I'm guessing, before Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which of the members of that cast of Friends, I could see her doing pretty well at SNL. Number 12, Kathy Griffin.
Yeah. Nothing much to say about her.
Yeah. Number 13, Adam McKay. 14, Dave Attell. Just run through some of these. 15, Mark Maron. 16, Jennifer Coolidge.
I can't stand her in anything that she's in.
What was the last thing you saw her in?
Legally Blonde.
It's been a minute.
17, Jeff Ross. 18, Paul Scheer, which I think Paul Scheer is really funny. If you haven't heard the podcast, How Did This Get Made? You should go check it out. It's really funny. And he's like a Stephen Colbert. He's really good at improv. Yeah. Anyway, number 19, Jack McBrayer.
I could see him being pretty good on SNL.
Yeah. I think if he was on SNL, I think he would be kind of pigeonholed to a particular character.
Mm-hmm. Like a recurring joke.
Yeah. Yeah. Number 20, Kel Mitchell of Kenan and Kel.
Basically, which was SNL.
Yeah.
It was SNL for Nickelodeon.
Yeah. Kenan made it. Kel did not.
Womp, womp,
They auditioned at the same time.
Did they really?
They did.
Like they went in at the same time, did like a skit together, and then only accepted one?
Only accepted Kenan. Now, he's been on longer than anybody in that cast currently.
Yeah, he's been there for, like, I think they just, he sleeps there.
Yeah. I don't know, 15, 16, 17 years, something like that.
Wow.
Number 21 and 22, Jorma Taccone and Akiva Schaffer.
Basically the same situation as Kenan and Kel.
Yeah. They auditioned with Adam Sandberg, and he made it, and they did not. But they got on SNL because they did the digital shorts, so I won't feel too bad for them. 23, 24, 25, and 26, Dave Foley, Scott Thompson, Bruce McCullough, and Kevin McDonald. You may know them as the Kids in the Hall, famous Canadian TV show. So it looks like when they were rejected from that, it's like, well, screw it, we'll just do our own. 27, Gina Davis. She's a laugh riot, that Gina Davis.
Yeah.
Boy, howdy. She just oozes funny. 28, Richard Belzer. 29, Robert Townsend. 30, Rob Hubel. And 31, Carrie Kenny. Those last few are actually really funny stand-up comedians. They may or may not know, which, anyway. So yeah, there you go.
There's some pretty big hitters that didn't make the cut.
Pretty big names.
I think it really comes down to when they kind of peaked or when they actually like hit that corner, kind of turned their career around.
Yeah.
And if they didn't like interview during that time, then they probably didn't make it.
It seemed like, though, with a lot of them, after they auditioned, shortly after, they became famous. Like, that's what it seems like.
Yeah, do you remember that movie where it was just like that dude that would sleep with a woman and then she'd get married by the next guy that she would date?
Dane Cook.
What was the movie called?
Something Stupid with Dane Cook.
Yeah. That's kind of what like SNL does, as soon as like after you go on there and audition,
Good luck, Chuck.
Good luck, Chuck.
That's the one.
There you go. After that, then you make it big.
Yeah. That's kind of what it seems like.
Well, it might kind of ignite a fire in them, and they're just like, no, I'm funny. Like, I know I'm funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be, well, we got this far, so we know we can do it because we were able to audition for SNL, so let's keep going. Let's try something else.
Yeah.
One person I wish that was on this list that hasn't been on SNL is Dane Cook. I wish that he had auditioned and been rejected because I hate Dane Cook.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
I want him on this list.
Because I hate Dane Cook as well.
Me too.
I think he's painfully unfunny.
Fresh off their appearance on SNL, Nick, Kevin, and Joe Jonas.
They were awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd say that about the Jonas Brothers, but they freaking killed it on SNL. Anyway.
I haven't gotten a chance to like watch all of it just yet. They've announced that they'll soon be stopping by another sketch series. All That.
Yep, it's coming back.
It's making a comeback.
Kenan Thompson is kind of
leading that charge
of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's kind of executive producing it, and yeah,
it'll be interesting because growing up was like a 90s kid, you like it was way funny and it perfectly fit like with all of the other shows that they had available at the time.
Have you watched it since though?
No,
it's not funny,
right? Then that's what I'm worried about, is it's going to be like a low budget SNL.
Yeah,
that they're going to try and fail at
directly from that list that we just
It'll be Paul Scheer and Lisa Kudrow. And
you remember how you didn't
Jim
make
Carrey.
it on SNL? Well, you'll make it on All That.
Steve Carell. That'd actually be an awesome cast now that I think about it. That'd be funny. But I've gone back and watched those old All That episodes. Like, oh, that was really funny as a kid. And I'll go back and watch it. And like, wow, those are stupid.
I must have been dumb.
Yeah. I was a stupid kid. Got it.
Oh, it's like the Amanda Bynes show, too. Oh
yeah. Yeah, that's... they're painful. They are painful now.
It's going to be back June 15th. Set your calendars.
All right, mark it on the calendar.
Can't wait.
The next generation of unfunny kids who can't really act. All right. We'll end up,
actually making it big.
Or drugs or
oh yeah,
porn.
One of those two.
One of those. So we all like Samurai Jack.
Yes, I love me some Samurai Jack.
It's a good cartoon. Well, Samurai Jack creator sets next adult film.
Wow.
Back to porn. Sorry, I have porn on the brain.
Samurai Jack off.
That works. Get in production.
Please title that.
Samurai Jack off. I don't know if iTunes will let me.
You put it in quotes, Samurai Jack, and then the word off.
Then off.
Trick it into allowing us to. Yeah.
I don't know. I might put that. We'll see what happens. Yeah, Samurai Jack creator sets next Adult Swim series. Genndy Tartakovsky's Primal, about a dinosaur and a caveman, will premiere later in 2019.
I'll be watching this for sure.
Me too. Because Genndy Tartakovsky, his animation, I've heard him interviewed, and he says what he does, he creates things that he's always wanted to see.
Yeah.
That no one has created. That's why he created Samurai Jack. He wanted to see an awesome samurai series that's just pretty much nothing but action.
Mm-hmm.
And so if he does that with, I think, caveman and dinosaurs, and they have like a little picture here, what it possibly could look like, I think it'd be really cool.
I love that, like, the majority, like, pretty much all the different scenes in Samurai Jack, you could just pause it, similar to, like, what you could do with, like, a Miyazaki film. You could just pause it and sketch that, and that could be, that could be a picture or a portrait kind of a deal. It's, like, he's very artistically, like, driven, and there's no, like, wasted time on the screen.
It's basically just an animated comic.
Mm-hmm.
Is really what it is.
Yeah, like pretty manga.
Much. Pretty much.
And, like, there's a ton of action, but there's not a lot of movement either. Rather, like, except for just, like, slides across the screen.
Mm-hmm.
But
a lot of quick slashes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was the whole reason why, like, I really enjoyed Kung Fu Panda, the first one, at least. Yeah. Just because it reminded me so much of Samurai Jack.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of sad, some sad news, but also Stan Lee, one of his ex-managers, comic book legend, is going to be charged with elderly abuse.
Yes.
Kind of reading into, like, some more has come to light to what he'd done, and it's really sad, especially in, like, his latter years. It even seemed like when he came to Comic-Con here in Salt Lake, or FanX, or whatever you want to call it, that he was kind of being, like, led around, and people were, like, when they were interviewing him, they kind of, like, whispered over to him and were kind of, like, assisting him. Yeah. A little Chuck Norris-esque.
Yeah.
But, it's just sad to see that, like, somebody so, like, iconic being taken advantage of.
Yeah, it is sad. Apparently, he took a lot of his money. He did a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And there are rumors out there that the people who manage Nichelle Nichols, who are on Star Trek, who we talked to,
mm-hmm.
That the same thing's kind of going on with her. Now, if you remember when we talked to her, her handler or manager or whatever kept whispering in her ear about things to talk about.
Yeah.
If you remember that.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know if maybe we caught a little glimpse of that.
Mm-hmm. Hey, mention this project.
Yeah, mention this. Yeah.
Well, and I'm sure that Stan Lee had a ton of stuff just, like, sitting around his place.
I'm sure.
That, like, these comics, #1 kind of a thing, or Detective Comics, or, like, all these different, like, really priceless things that are just being taken, and
I'm sure his memory was shot at the time. So
oh yeah, remember you gifted me this? You gave me that. Yeah. I can't stand that. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. Is because like not to bring like this into it. No, well, no, just like I'm talking about with elder like abuse. My grandma, like one time, like somebody had called her up and said like, hey, you know, this is you know your grandson, like you know who, and like she's like, oh, is it you, Brian? You know, and like the person had talked her into giving him like $1,000 through like sending it like through the post office. I forget what it was, like through a routing number kind of a deal that couldn't be traced. Yeah, and she did that, and I was just like so upset about. I don't know. It's
really infuriating when people take advantage of people that don't have all their mental faculties, and it just boils my blood.
Like I remember after my grandma passed, my grandpa gave a bunch of money to this psychic that could communicate with my grandma and tell him that, oh, everything's going to be okay and blah, blah, blah. And they recorded all these sessions and I listened to them and they make me furious.
Yeah.
Because it's just somebody who is just taking advantage of my grandpa for his money.
Yeah. I can't stand that. And then to see it happen to like Stan Lee,
So, you know how much I love a good petition?
Yes.
Because they do so much good.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
it gives petitions a bad name, like for the ones that are actually legit and are worth a cause fight, you know, like to fight for.
To change an unfair law or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those I can see. This one, Game of Thrones fans demand HBO to remake season 8 in new petition. This is one of the dumbest things I've ever read. For many reasons. One of which is this show has now been wrapped for probably close to a year now.
Yeah.
So, which means the cast is now doing other things.
Right.
And so, just the logistics of bringing them all back together would never happen. It would cost them millions and millions of dollars.
Oh yeah, we've talked about like how much they've spent per episode. It's like upwards of like $10 to $12 million, and I could see it even being more with this last season.
I think this last episode was probably around like $60 million.
Oh geez,
the city stuff.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
And I just. Nothing is going to come from this.
Especially
I don't know why they're doing it.
It would compromise their integrity, too. Yeah. Be like, you know what? You guys were right. This sucks. Let's go back and, like...
That's like pulling a Sonic, kind of a...
Yeah. Pulling a Sonic, yeah.
I don't know. It's dumb. Petitions like this are dumb.
They really are.
Anyone who signs it immediately loses my respect.
All respect. There was respect, and now there's none.
Yep. No respect. You get no respect.
No soup for you.
And all it is these butthurt fans that...
Keyboard warriors.
That the season isn't going the way they wanted it to go.
Yeah.
Guess what? The book's not out yet. Maybe the book will go exactly how you want it to go.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, it's too bad that the show didn't live up to the show you crafted for yourself in your mind.
Right.
I mean, if you want to do something about it, here's what you can do. You go to a TV studio, get a show financed, and get it on the air. How about that?
And then we can poke holes in it and make fun of you and start a petition.
Yeah, to burn your house down.
Yeah.
Right.
We're very passionate about petitions.
Hate them. Petitions.
So, speaking of Game of Thrones,
yes.
Instead of remaking season 8, why don't they just do spin-offs of the show?
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I know. They should pay me for that. Oh, wait, hold on. It looks like there's actually 3 that are in the works right now. They don't give you any details about 2 of them, but one of them is supposed to take place, thousands of years, like probably 1,000, before the events in Game of Thrones. And it's kind of about the descent of all these... ancestral heroes going from the golden age of heroes into the darkest hour of the Game of Thrones world. So basically just the decline.
That's interesting.
And I think it's probably going to have the creation of the Night King and all of the White Walkers as well. Right. which
That'd be really interesting.
I for sure want them to go into more detail about, because it kind of seemed really anticlimactic. Like, this whole series was about these White Walkers coming from the other side of the wall, and then it was over in one episode. Kind of silly.
Let's sign a petition.
Yes. The ones that I would like to see, as far as the other two go, the Dothraki. I find their culture pretty fascinating and would be kind of interested to see more of it. And I'd really like to see an Arya and the Hound.
Yeah.
Like, get this kind of like fun, like, spin-off.
Like that one comic with the
Black Road.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
One that I would really like is like the Hound, the younger years, like him as a kid, like after he gets his face burnt from his brother, and just
as long as they stay far away from the original series, I'm perfectly cool with it, because I mean, introduce some of the mythos and stuff, but that's fine. But as far as you like make it your own, and I think you'll have a better chance of success. Fear the Walking Dead kind of suffered from that a little bit, because they, they're building up to, we're going to finally meet the other cast of The Walking Dead, and there's going to be crossovers, and I don't know, then you start running into issues there.
Yeah.
And that never happened, right?
Not yet, but it is, and I guess they're making a movie as well.
Neat.
All right.
Speaking of other television news, I know 2 out of the 3 of us are excited for this. Rick and Morty Season 4 is returning November 2019.
Troy's just lame. He doesn't understand.
I need to buy a bottle of Excedrin for this show. Gives me a headache.
You've tried a couple of times watching it?
Cause all it is Morty, Morty, let's go, Morty.
That gets better. He stops saying
Rick,
Morty.
gee, Rick, oh no, Rick, Morty, Morty. Yeah, that's all it is. I'm sorry.
It gets better as the series goes on.
I don't care.
Maybe you're too sober watching it.
Like,
I'm gonna get some.
The episode that kills me the most is when Summer is stuck in his car / spaceship. And he tells the car to defend her. Oh man, that's the best one.
I do love when the dogs take over as well.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's actually one of the episodes I've seen.
Okay.
It's one of the episodes that drove me away from the series.
Really?
Yes.
Oh man.
I can't. I'm sorry. I guess I'm just not a stoner, so I don't get it.
We're not stoners, AJ.
Sure.
We're just cool.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is?
So 4, 5, and 6 have already been announced as well, that they're going to continue the series. So, but November, mark your calendars.
All right. So,
Morty, Rick.
Oh jeez.
Oh jeez.
Oh jeez, Rick. Let me tell you this other story. I got way too into character there for a second.
Couldn't get out of character. Became Morty. Ooh, that was close.
That could have been bad. All right. So, there's a torrented version of Endgame out there that's being called oh man, I'm having issues. Straight White Men download version of Endgame. Which, this is why it's called that, because it takes out, let me see, where do they say it here? It takes out
all the
gay,
all the feminism and the gay stuff.
So
there being any gay stuff,
Right?
yeah, I don't remember any.
Maybe it was when Captain was looking at his own butt.
Oh no, the dude, when they're having that meeting.
They're meeting.
Mm-hmm. And the guy said that he goes on a date. One of the directors said that he went on a date with this other guy and it went well.
Yeah.
But like, I liked that they had that meeting. They brought it back because that was something that Sam had done. He was over the veterans talking to these guys, these that have PTSD. He would talk to them. So then Cap was there.
Some people need to get over that kind of stuff.
I would agree. And this whole anti-feminist thing with people hating Captain Marvel, and that's the other thing. I think this takes Captain Marvel out completely, which is too bad because you miss a really cool moment in the movie.
Yeah, when she's busting through all those ships and comes in.
And when they first go to Thanos for the first time.
Oh, yeah. How would they even make that movie work?
It would seem boring to me.
Yeah.
I do agree that the part where all of the women came together, that was kind of shoehorned in there. Like, it didn't feel like...
It felt a little out of... Yeah.
Or forced. You know?
Especially when Captain Marvel was able to do it all herself.
Yeah, she's the most powerful being.
Yeah.
It was just...
So wait, okay, I got a question. Is she more powerful than the Hulk?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Because, like, you don't really see his full potential because he keeps, and I think now he's kind of, like, honed it in a little bit. But, like,
especially now.
Yeah. But, like, beforehand, where he was just complete rage, where if you hit him, like, you're only making him stronger.
Yeah, if you don't knock him out, his power is exponential. Like, there is no end to it.
Radiation.
So that's what I'm meaning. Like, with that version of Hulk, is he more powerful than Captain Marvel? Are they pretty equal?
I think he has the potential to be.
Okay.
Yes, but I think it would take a lot to get him to that strength, that power.
Well, here's what it comes down to. Captain Marvel can probably die. Hulk can't die. There's literally no way for him to. He's indestructible.
It's true. Even in the comics, when Bruce Banner died, Hulk continued living.
Yeah.
Yeah. And could never revert back.
Spoilers.
Yeah. But I mean, from what we've seen in the MCU, yeah, she is more powerful because Thanos kicked the crap out of the Hulk.
Yeah.
But Thanos couldn't beat Captain Marvel without the help of the Power Stone that he somehow popped out of the glove and then knocked her into next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I will say it was kind of funny. First time I saw it, the first time Captain Marvel came on screen, it's pretty quiet, and you just heard this guy in the back, boo! And he was way in the back.
Yeah.
So that was kind of funny.
He was was there with his tiki torch.
Yeah. And his clan hood. Yeah.
Boo!
Yeah. So that did make me chuckle. But.
Yeah. That's so weird. That seems like, because they've done that for a while with some of these other movies where they make them PG-13 from rated R. Mm-hmm. So are they going to do this through like all these movies or this one in particular? Because they didn't agree with the direction it went.
Probably just this one, unless they continue to have all that gay crap in my MCU movie.
MC no, like I don't.
Superheroes can't be gay. Well, you haven't read comics then.
Yes,
there are several.
Speaking of comics, Robert Pattinson has been cast to be the new Batman in the reboot.
I've never heard of him.
Pattinson.
Oh, I've heard of him.
Okay. Nah.
He's the vampire, right?
Yeah. That sparkly dude.
Yeah, this made the internet angry.
Which I don't understand why. Like...
Because all they see him as is Twilight, is Edward in Twilight.
Mm-hmm.
And Cedric Diggory.
I would ask these people, have you seen him in anything else?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen him in like...
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Water for Elephants?
Oh, okay.
He's in that.
He wasn't good in that one.
There was another one he was...
That Road one?
Yeah, yes.
He did do Road, and then he's also done... There was like a couple others.
He's actually a really good dramatic actor. He really is.
And he does have that whole like debonair kind of suave side to him that could work well as he's
got the brooding side. He can do that really well.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I'm not
Did you hear that like a lot of people want Kirsten Stewart to I said that name right?
No, it's Kristen.
Oh, damn it. Kristen Stewart. Did you hear that they want her to be Catwoman?
That would be dumb.
That would be dumb.
Right?
It's like we're all preaching open-mindedness.
No, that would be dumb. No, don't do it.
Okay.
But the difference is she's legitimately a terrible actress.
No, she was okay in.
Look, there's a difference between being okay and being good.
Yeah.
Like, you can't say...
Okay, he's okay. Okay, he's okay as well.
I'm sure I'm an okay actor, and I've never done it before, so take that as you will.
No, I will say Robert Pattinson is good. He is a good actor.
Yeah.
I've seen him in things. I've seen him in dramatic roles. No, I can't remember the names of the films because they weren't extremely memorable, but he's good. He was just given crap all to do in Twilight.
Okay, we're pulling this up. I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, if only there was a way to look up what he's done, right? Good Time,
box.
High Life, Remember Me, The Lost City of Z. Oh, he's good in that one. Oh, that's what it was. The Rover, not The Road.
The Rover.
The Rover.
Yep.
Water for Elephant.
Roy. He was really good.
Harry Potter, a lot of Twilight. Maps to the Stars. Okay, he wasn't good in that movie. Queen of the Desert. How to Be Life. I don't know.
There was a movie where he played Salvador Dali. Apparently he was excellent in. I'm just saying, given the right material, he can be very good.
Yeah.
And he's never been in a superhero film before, so we don't know.
That's true.
So when do you give somebody the benefit of the doubt? Because, you know, like a lot, like every time?
Every time.
I don't know if I agree with that with like a movie roles. Where there's like somebody that, there's certain movies that I'm just like, nope, they shouldn't make that movie, and they shouldn't cast those people in that movie.
Who was that other?
Because, I mean, everybody brings up, like, Heath Ledger, you know, who did a fantastic job, and some of these other ones that, even Christian Bale, you know.
I made a meme about it.
Yeah. But at the same time, there's a couple of them that you're just like, no, this shouldn't happen, no.
I know there's been a couple of those. I can't remember what they were now. Well, I was just adamant that would be a terrible choice, and I can't remember what it was.
But you're also implying that people can't change and get better at something either.
Yep. That's exactly what I'm doing.
I mean, they are actors. So, I mean, that's kind of their job, is to do different things.
Some of them can't.
Well, I think some of them get comfortable and complacent, and they're just like, well, this is where the money is, so I'm just going to do this character and give me my check, and they leave.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Robert Pattinson is the kind of guy that would take this role serious.
Yeah.
And I think if he bulks up a little bit, obviously he's, you know, he can dye his hair black or whatever, and I think he'll be fine.
Did you see there was a couple of memes that were going around about him doing Batman Beyond?
No, I didn't see that.
It had what's the other dude that played like the older Batman? Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton?
Yeah, playing an older Batman, and him playing like the younger in Batman Beyond.
By the way, people didn't like Michael Keaton's casting either.
In which movie?
Cast as Batman in '89.
Yeah, he was.
People hated it.
Yeah,
people wrote letters to Warner Brothers saying that they're not going to see this movie because Michael Keaton was cast as Batman, because he was known as a comedic actor. He had done Mr. Mom and Beetlejuice right before that.
Right.
And so people couldn't see him in anything else.
Those are the kind of people that are best in those roles, because you can't see them as something else, and all of a sudden you can't not see them as that character.
So I'm saying I'm just not rushing to judgment with Robert Pattinson. I'll wait. I'm going to wait and see.
Plus, Michael Keaton was one of my favorite actors in Spider-Man: Homecoming. Yeah. He knocked it out of the park.
If Robert Pattinson sucks, then he sucks, and he'll probably kill the Batman franchise for a while. Fine. George Clooney did the same thing. Mm-hmm. We got the Dark Knight trilogy, so you know,
maybe this isn't so bad. Even if he does a horrible job, it'll only make the next one better.
We'll get something better after. So everybody just relax, calm down. All right, we got a new Mortal Kombat movie coming.
Oh yeah,
produced by James Wan to start filming this year. Same director who's done a few Fast and Furious films. I would say, I mean, I'll probably see it. I like Mortal Kombat. I like the games. The first movie was okay. It wasn't great.
He did, so James Wan, he also did Aquaman, The Conjuring, Insidious, Saw, Curse of La Llorona, Annabelle, Conjuring, Furious 7.
Yeah.
Lights Out, Annabelle, Insidious, like all the Annabelle and Insidious movies, and a lot of the Saw ones. So the dude can like direct.
Yeah, he's a good director, and I think with the technology we have now, I think Mortal Kombat will lend itself well to that. Especially if they make it like a hard R and make it extremely violent.
Yes.
Which I think they would need to do.
That, and I also think that they need to do a better, like, give some characters some depth without focusing too much on one character. They have to basically pull off an Avengers moment.
Yeah.
In one movie. Right? Where you give everybody else equal screen time, and then, like, they have a big, huge reveal of, like, Scorpion or somebody else. But then they actually have a better story than the Mortal Kombat movies themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that whole universe is pretty convoluted anyway.
Well, even the games, like, there's not that much depth to the story, right? It's like, oh, you have to take on these champions in order to, yeah.
The last couple, they've tried to kind of step up their game a little bit, and like they've introduced the concept of time travel, and that's kind of had like effects throughout the first game to this game, and so they've tried to do stuff like that. And this last one, Mortal Kombat 11, they did that as well. And so a bunch of like the characters from the first Mortal Kombat game met the characters from the new Mortal Kombat game.
Okay.
And so they had a whole thing that way. I mean, it was fine, but.
The other problem that they need to stay away from is do not recruit UFC fighters to be in this movie.
Correct.
Or wrestlers.
Correct.
Like, unless it's The Rock.
Right.
But you know what I mean? Like, because a lot of them, they're not going to be able to act, and it's just going to be like a stupid, like, punching, like, steroid-induced movie.
Yeah.
And could you imagine The Rock being, what's his name, Goro?
Goro? Yeah, it'd be awesome.
That would be so cool.
As long as he does a better job than like he did in the Scorpion King.
Scorpion King. Yeah. And the Mummy, the third one.
Yeah, those are bad.
Because the Scorpion King movie was actually really good. But in the Mummy
Returns.
Scorpion,
yeah. He even did the wink.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did the eyebrow.
Yeah.
Really?
Was that necessary?
All right. But yeah, I think if they have characters who they might be able to get away with casting maybe UFC fighters if the characters don't speak.
Mm-hmm.
If they just have them for the fight scenes, okay,
right,
fine. But actually get actors for the speaking roles,
right?
You know, keep Ronda Rousey out of it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, what's the dude? Wears the huge hat, Electric? Raiden, thank you. He's going to have like a larger role no matter what. So I feel like you need to give, because a lot of these other movies that you'll see, like these older Greek ones that they try to do, that they bring in these actors that don't really fit the part and give them like an old, like long looking goatee, and it doesn't work so well.
Yeah.
Well, because the Raiden in the first movie, he was like the chess master, right? Like he was manipulating,
orchestrated the whole thing.
Yeah, he was.
It's been a long time.
He was kind of trying to guide the competition. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which he's continue on throughout all the games. He's kind of been that role, but anyway.
So that's going to require somebody good.
Yes,
it will to actually be able to.
And I would say cast Asian actors for the Asian roles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Instead of using Caucasian and tape.
Yeah. Let's not do that, please.
Sounds about white.
All right. So the series finale of Game of Thrones is airing tonight.
Oh man,
I'm excited.
Chills, literal chills.
Literal chills for AJ. But I found this article that has their predictions of who will survive and who will die.
All of them will die.
So the first one, Daenerys Targaryen, of course.
Yep.
It's predicted that she will die because obviously she's going insane and someone's going to need to stop her.
Jon's taking her down.
I think so as well. Either Jon or Arya.
Okay.
One of the two. Jon, I think, he will die as well.
Ooh, it probably is Arya because there was talk about like her being like death basically.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
But
yeah, Arya would do
I think
it.
that Jon's going to confront Daenerys, and he's also going to die.
Especially since he was seeing it from like the ground level where all this carnage is going on. She's just flying above, you know.
Well, and think about it. The Lord of Light brought Beric back to life,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason why he brought the Lord of Light brought Beric back was to save Arya.
Right.
Through the through Winterfell.
Mm-hmm.
And he also brought Jon back for a reason, which maybe Jon's purpose for coming back is also to save Arya.
Ooh, good point.
Let's see who else. Tyrion is. I think he's going to survive.
I think he's going to survive.
He's going to survive as well. Maybe even be the ruler, like I predicted.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he might.
I think if Tyrion does die because he's such a fan favorite, I think he'll go out in like a blaze of glory. Mm-hmm. He'll make like some giant sacrifice or do something like that. Yeah. If he does die.
I think he's too big to die.
I don't think he will. He is the tallest Lannister now.
Arya Stark, obviously, I think she'll live as well. Sansa Stark, so she's safe in Winterfell right now, so it's unlikely that she'll die, but Yara and the Iron Fleet are still pledged to Daenerys, and so they might do an attack on Winterfell, just like her brother and her dad did at one point.
Right.
So she might die. Davos Seaworth, he'll probably, I don't know, it's up in the air for these B-level characters.
Right.
Yeah.
He might
hit or miss.
I say like I know who these people are.
This guy.
Oh yeah, I know him.
So he might die. I don't know.
Old guy with the beard.
I think Grey Worm is definitely going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's got nothing to live for.
I think Bronn is going to survive, and they do too. They're saying that he's the smartest guy in Westeros, and he's survived as long as he has.
He just goes wherever the money is, and whoever's going to give him a castle.
Yeah.
That's how you survive.
And Tyrion might live up to his promise.
Yeah.
Because he did promise him their home castle. So, who knows? But I think those are really the only cast members that are left that we care about.
Yeah.
So who... I think we've said it before, but who do you guys think is jumping on the throne?
Tyrion,
yeah.
Tyrion.
Yeah, I'm on the Tyrion bandwagon.
Except for he's so much better at just being a helping out, like being kind of like being the hand
advisor.
Exactly.
But if Jon and Daenerys die, no more Targaryens. They're gone. They've died out.
Right.
And
but would they
be the last Lannister?
But would they really be ready for another Lannister to take the throne? I mean, everybody's died in the city, so it's not like that he has to worry about that.
Who's left to protest?
Right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. We'll see tonight.
Dun dun dun.
At 7.
I'll see probably tomorrow.
Which is funny because I watch
after.
it on HBO Go, and at 7 o'clock the episode becomes available, and you can skip to the end.
Really?
Like you can just see the ending.
Yeah.
It's weird.
That'd be too much of a temptation for me. That's what I'd want to do.
When you get a new book, you skip to the last 10 pages so that you know.
Kind of. Sometimes. I did that with a few of the Harry Potter books. Skip to the last, just see. Yeah. All right. So last week, and I don't remember if we did this on or off air while we were recording.
Yeah.
But you and I talked about people in movie theaters, and
because it all kind of stemmed from the people that were in the movie theater when I went and seen The Curse of La Llorona.
Yeah.
Because I was talking about like that they kept yelling. I didn't think we were gonna quickly.
We are.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
So, yeah, I just remember that. So let's talk about the movies we've seen first.
Yeah.
And then we want to talk about movie theater etiquette, basically. So I managed to see Brightburn, which we've been talking about for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
How did you see that? It's not even out yet.
Weird.
They gave him an exclusive for being a podcaster.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. So, Brightburn. It's basically a dark Superman story.
So, like, if Superman was inherently evil,
yes, because
or without conscience,
because that's how it starts. There's alien spaceship lands in the forest near this this couple's house.
It's a little barn. Was it a barn? Or like kind of a farm?
Yeah, it's a little farm.
found by two people that can't have kids of their own.
Correct. And so they find him and they start to raise him and adopt him. And
does he start doing weird kid things?
He does, but weird kid things if the kid had superpowers.
Okay.
So he gets to the age of like 12. I think he's like 12, 13. And he starts to discover that, he's got these interesting powers. Like, he's trying to start this lawnmower, and he can't get it to start, so he gets frustrated, and he just picks it up and he just throws it. Like, 100 yards down. And that's the first time he's realized that he has, like, super strength. So when the lawnmower, he goes over the lawnmower, and it's face up, and the blade is right there. He goes to stick his hand in it.
Bends the blades.
Yeah, bends the blades.
Wow. He also grabs like a stove, puts his hand on the stove. All these stupid, puts like a fork in the light plug.
That kind of stuff to my kids to check and see if they have superpowers. Because that's how you tell.
Spoilers, they didn't.
It's like, go ahead, touch it.
Come on.
Dang it. No superpowers.
No hand now.
What the heck do I have to do? So he...
Having him be bitten by spiders.
So he starts to, because he's bullied a little bit, and so he starts to kind of understand that he's different, and he starts to feel kind of superior, and all of a sudden the ship that he crash landed in, because they keep it in the barn in the basement, starts to talk to him while he's asleep. And so it started to tell him, like, take over, rule the world, take over.
So do you think that was the push that he needed, or do you think he would have eventually come to that conclusion on his own?
I think that he would have grown out of it, I think, because he was raised by pretty good parents. Mm-hmm. Elizabeth Banks and Roy from The Office. Yeah. And they were good people. And so I think he would have been fine, but the ship kept sending him like hypnotic suggestions to kill everybody, which he kind of ends up doing. And so if you've seen the trailer, he kind of dons this little homemade mask and cape, and he starts to go ham on the town.
Well, and he psychologically tortures people first, right?
He does. He does.
Like any good serial killer.
Yeah. There's this interesting scene where his mom is kind of cleaning his room and kind of lifts up his mattress, which that's where kids always keep their porn, right? Mm-hmm. It's under the mattress. And so she finds like pictures of like lingerie models and stuff like that and calls him the dad. It's like, well, he's a kid. That's normal.
Kids do.
Yeah.
12, 13-year-old boys, that's what they do. They find pictures of like body parts.
That he took?
No.
Oh.
Like pictures out like medical journals of like people doing like autopsies and stuff like that. And she's like, is this normal? He goes, no. So he tries to have the talk with him, the sex talk, and that ends up being kind of an interesting scene. But so, it's an interesting take on the whole superhero genre that we're in because it's based on the origin of a supervillain. And I mean, it's J.J. Abrams, so he leaves it open for a sequel, but a sequel is probably never going to happen. But overall, it's pretty entertaining. And like I was telling you guys before, there's no wasted time in this film. Like, there's no exposition, there's no, explaining what's going on, which is exposition. They just get to it.
He just explained what an exposition was.
You expositioned an exposition?
I did. Let me mansplain this exposition to you. So,
are you going to make a white version of it as well?
Yes.
Like where, no gay stuff.
So it's actually pretty entertaining, and it there are some scenes that it's a little gory in a few parts, a little intense in a few parts, especially when the parents realize the stuff that he's doing or stuff that he's done, realize who he is. They try to dispatch of him, but just leave it at that.
With a lawnmower?
No. So I would say out of 5, that weird little symbol he draws, which is his initials, by the way.
Okay.
Because her last name begins with a B, and his first name begins with a B, so BB. Anyway, I would give it. I'm probably at 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so not bad.
Not bad because it's original.
Well, do you think you would have rated it higher if you'd seen it on the big screen?
You mean instead of my screener that I got?
Yes.
Because I'm a podcaster?
Yes.
Probably. I think it is meant to be seen on the big screen.
It doesn't seem forced like those subliminal messages, does it?
No.
Okay.
No.
It actually.
Do you think that it opens up the door for more movies like this?
Yes. Yeah, I would say so.
Evil origin stories, or had they done something gone evil?
Is it more horror or more thriller?
It's more horror.
Okay, good.
It really
That's
is.
what I like.
Okay.
It's more of a horror film than anything. Yeah. Good old fashioned horror. Yeah, so when it does come out in theaters, I would suggest go check it out.
I did get a chance to check out John Wick 3, but so I had to use up this gift card that I'd gotten, and I purchased the tickets online. And I was just like, I was over at my parents' place for a minute, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we've been wanting to see it as well." I'm like, "Oh, I'll just use it, I'll take you guys with me as well." So we all went to the movie, and I was sitting next to my mom, and then I had one of those moments where I'm just like, "Oh man, I sure hope there's no sex scenes." I sure hope there's no nudity in this movie. I mean, I know it's gonna be gory and bloody and violent, but I sure hope there's not. This would be the most awkward thing in the world.
Was there?
No. There was a lot of blood though, and there was a couple of scenes where I had to cover up my mom's eyes, jokingly. This dude, he's holding a sword up above his head and trying to force it into his eye. So yeah, it's pretty brutal. So when we last left John Wick in the second one, they doubled
John Wick.
Gotten a new dog.
They doubled the bounty. So now he's wanted for $14 million. He's
learn their lesson,
right? They can't kill him. He's given an hour to try to escape and get away as far as he possibly can, and it's kind of interesting because as soon as this hour's up, nobody can help him. Any of these people in this organization can't assist him in any way, but they can all kill him. So it's interesting because you're not sure who's actually a normal person and who's actually an assassin, because apparently they're all over the place. There are millions of them. But John tries to find a way to get this bounty removed off of his head, and he's required to assassinate somebody that he doesn't really want to, that he really cares about. So then he gets kind of put in this predicament where all of this organization is coming after him and trying to take him down. He also, on his journey, enlists the help of Halle Berry, which she does a fantastic job. She was an excellent, I was a little tentative how she was going to actually do in this movie, but she did a great job. She was spot on, and she had these she had a couple of dogs that were helping her along the way. Which there was this one part, they go to this Middle Eastern country, and there's this one part where it seriously felt like it was a dog park. Just the way that the city was set up, that these dogs are able to climb up these ladders and run over and jump on these other people. Yeah. And one of the villains does shoots one of her dogs. So then he John Wick kind of has this moment where he's don't do anything. So she starts shooting and kills that dude in revenge, and she's he shot my dog, and he's okay, I understand, I can relate, I understand, I get it. Yeah, which was hilarious. It was pretty awesome. He does implement quite a few different ways on how to kill people. I mean, I thought there was no other way to kill a person, but he manages to find quite a few different ways. He like throwing knives that they're in this like art gallery type of area or something, and there's all these different like knives and hatchets and things on display, so they have to keep breaking this glass in order to grab one to throw at another person. It was just kind of cool. He also goes to like this stable area and kills people with horses by like slapping them on the ass, and then the horse kicks the dude. It shoots people underwater, which was kind of cool. This one, it seems like he gets hurt more frequently, so he's not so invulnerable. And the last final scene, it's like John Wick at his best. The one thing I didn't much care for is they had a similar character to Ruby Rose, her character, but it was this guy that was like constantly kind of following him, and they're in this glass part of a building, and he just keeps watching them as his people that he's trained try to kill him but can't kill him, and he like claps for a minute, and then he looks at him over in this other area, and like just kind of follows him around, and I thought that was a little like cheesy.
Yeah.
But overall, this movie was another like John Wick movie, and they did set it up for a fourth one. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty solid John Wick. If you like the other ones, you're gonna love this one. You won't be disappointed. They kind of simplified the plot a little bit. Even more than like what they've done before. But yeah, I out of 5 tomahawks, I'm gonna probably have to go with 3 on this one. It was worth watching.
All right. All right. So there you go. So now, as I was saying before, last week you and I, AJ, were talking about the issues we had going to see Detective Pikachu.
Yes.
With the other people that were there.
Mm-hmm.
I went with a bunch of kids. Well, I didn't go with
You just drove a van with the
white van that had no windows. Free candy written on the side.
I was in a screening with a bunch of children. And
that sounds
much better.
There were a bunch of kids in the theater.
Hey, yeah, you just purchased a van, Colton. Just say it.
Just take out the word with. That implies
your
company.
And I had some issues with kids constantly talking and parents constantly telling them to be quiet or not. Some
of them don't even care. Like, they'll be running up and down the aisles, and they just like whatever.
Well, how old were these kids? Like young teenagers,
anywhere between the ages of like 4 to 12 or 13,
Gotcha.
Around in there. And I think, and you had a similar experience when you went and watched it as well.
Just like kids, people like kicking the back of my seat a couple of times, where I actually had to like push my seat up against it, but it still didn't stop them because they kicked it again. And like I turned around and like stopped watching the movie to look at them, and then they kind of like looked down at their popcorn. But I'm like, really? Come on, guys.
I'm not afraid to punch a 12-year-old.
Right?
I do it all the time.
No, this dude was a full-on adult.
Oh, he was an adult?
Yeah.
Oh, frick. That's when you...
I'm like, come on, dude.
Machete and
right?
Hack off their ankles.
Throwing hands.
Just their ankles, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like you keep their foot and their leg there.
Just the ankle.
Their ankle off.
A perfect incision, just kind of... Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, so we decided we wanted to talk about kind of movie theater etiquette, or not just movie theaters, but when you're in a public place, in the first place, just etiquette for those around you. And I think that's kind of, it's starting to be not so important to people.
It really isn't. Like, there's quite a few people that, like, I'm cool with people talking before while the trailers are going on, whatever. Yeah, like, you can watch it on YouTube, or like, I've probably already seen the trailer. But when it actually gets to the movie and they're talking, like I had this like elderly couple that was sitting a couple of seats down from me that he's just like, now what did they say? I'm like, they've made it so that you have like for the hearing impaired, you can get a pair of headphones. Yeah. Like they've put all these other things into place.
Subtitle things that go in the cup holder.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's not like they don't have the technology available.
Yeah, and I've had to several times get up and move to somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because I've even left the movie completely because people will not stop talking the entire time.
But
I've gotten
anybody to shut up.
Oh, I've gotten a refund.
I tell people to shut up all the time.
Right?
Well, I haven't since I've been with Emily, but when I used to go see movies by myself, I would tell people to shut up.
Yeah.
Okay, shut your fat whole mouth.
I've gotten close. I've really gotten close. But
Especially
I
if
haven't.
They're smaller than me, which it never happens unless they're 12.
I've done the whole like shh, like hey, come on guys, like once or twice.
See, I've never even done that. I should start doing that.
Throwing a shh or something. Yeah.
But I think I was trying to think, where did this start? Why has this kind of become more and more of a thing? Because I remember it as a kid, it would happen occasionally, but not all the time, which is pretty much what's happened now. It's like every time I go to see a movie, which I do probably on average once or twice a week, I'm at the movie theater. And this happens all the time.
Even with like pulling out phones.
Yes. And that's where I pinpointed it. It was the advent of the smartphone, invention of the smartphone. Because people are so wrapped up in their phones that they've started to forget about the outside world.
They've got blinders on.
Yes. Or it's become such a habit to check your phone that you don't even realize that you're in a pitch black movie theater and pulling out your phone and looking at it. That's where everybody's eyes are going to go now because they see this bright light all of a sudden.
And it takes you out of the movie.
It does.
The experience. That or like even people when they're yelling and screaming at a scary movie.
Yeah.
Like that's cool if you're at home watching it, but if you're in the movie theater, I mean I don't mind if you get startled or like scare or scream or something, but being like, "No, don't look behind you." I've had people do that and it's just like, "All right, calm down."
It's that exaggerated scream that like teenage girls do, where they just use it as an excuse to just scream as loud as they can.
Save that for a haunted house.
Yeah.
Like
I hate that. And it's just about being polite to other people. You know, don't bring a tiny little baby to the movie theater.
Yeah.
I do have exceptions to things like that.
Yeah.
As a person who has a tiny little baby, if it's a Wednesday and it's 11 o'clock a.m.
Sure.
Yeah. Bring a baby. Who
Yeah.
cares? No one's going to go see it. Like,
but if it's like a Saturday at like 8 o'clock.
A lot of these rules, I think, apply on the weekday after 5 p.m. And during the weekends. I don't take little kids to see movies on the weekends because that's when people go. Like, that's when they have time to go.
Right.
And, like, I'll try to find the least popular times to take a young child who has the potential.
It's pretty inconsiderate.
But then again, I have the quietest baby in the world. You guys haven't heard a peep since she's been upstairs.
No.
She's the best. Anyways.
Chloroform works wonders.
But, I've been in theaters where a baby has started to cry and they don't take it out. They don't do anything.
Yeah.
It'll just sit there and cry. It's like, it's one of those things where you just think, how could you?
You just need to have
get that attached
for your fellow human
disattached from it to not even realize. Yeah,
like people just need to realize the fact that, especially since movie theater, like movie ticket prices are going up, people are spending $30 to go there if you're a couple. You know, like don't ruin their night because you want to watch a movie. You chose to have a kid. Take it out of the theater.
Exactly.
Any other one? What about if you're sitting, because like Troy, you'll sit a lot of the times towards the end, left hand side, and see, I prefer the middle. Like the reason I prefer the middle is because I mean it's optimal for like your viewing experience, but at the same time, it also eliminates people walking in front of me as much.
That's true. And if you are a frequent urinator like me, sit on the outside so that you're not constantly making people get up and move.
Excuse me.
See, that's one of the reasons I sit over on the far left-hand side, is because most of the time, and I've found this out by looking where people purchase tickets, is they purchase tickets on the right-hand side. So most of the people are going to be on the right-hand side. So if I'm over on the left-hand side, I'm by myself most of the time.
Yeah.
There's nobody in front of me or behind me. And I'm close to the end, so if I want to get up and go to the bathroom or get a refill or something, I'm not inconveniencing anybody.
I've also done this a couple of times, like when it's a movie I really want to see, I'll purchase a ticket, it doesn't matter where, because I know that I'm going to sit in the front, the handicap area. Because like you can still recline the seat, and it's also got this wall, this barrier that like wraps around you, and like the next closest person is seriously about like 5 or 6 seats down from you, you know, because they've got one on either end, and then they've got access like areas for like wheelchairs, and then like, but if there was somebody with a wheelchair, I'd obviously move and go to my seat, or at least like move over. But I've never had like that be an issue. But yeah, you can just like go ahead and sit there, and you've got this wall around you, and you can just be by yourself and just enjoy the movie.
Yep. But yeah, so I would just tell those that are listening, and I'm sure none of our listeners have done this. Just be considerate of other people.
Yeah,
that's all it is. You know, people want to go and have a nice time at the theater. Just try to be somewhat
respectful. Yeah.
Also, this is a PSA. If you're one of those people that goes to the bathroom 2 or 3 times during the movie, go see a urologist. Something's going on.
This episode brought to you by...
This is a very special episode.
They have those signs in the men's restroom.
They do.
Above the stall or above the urinals. They say, you missing the movie for this? Call this urologist.
Yeah. Also, there's also other little things. Like if you buy something, if you buy like candy or something, or if you have candy in,
open it before the movie starts.
Open it before.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do.
Because for some reason they all have plastic wrappers inside the box.
Yes.
What the heck?
I don't know why.
They try to make it as difficult as possible, especially in a movie theater.
But open it before you get in, or do it in the previews, or that sort of thing.
Same goes for like, I'm cool with like sneaking in food occasionally. Like some people will do that, but like it's so funny when it was dead quiet and I heard this person just crack open like a soda, and it's just like, really, during the quietest part, like you couldn't have done it like 10 seconds, like when there was explosions going on or something.
Doesn't apply when you're watching A Quiet Place. Every part of that movie is the quiet part of the movie.
Did you guys have a good experience with that when you went and seen it?
I think everyone was pretty respectful.
My only issue with that is that the theater next to it was loud.
Oh.
And so I was hearing rumblings and bass and everything from the other theater. And so that,
I never would have thought of that.
They almost
until it happened.
They almost needed to put it like next to like quieter movies.
Yes.
Right?
Quieter place.
Yes, exactly.
Put it in a quieter place, yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's other things.
You're like, this is my one opportunity, my one chance to like be able to like rant and rave.
Oh, sometimes, okay, if you're like me and you're kind of introverted and you don't like most people, if you're buying a ticket and you see that there's nobody really in the theater, but there's one seat that was purchased,
don't sit next to him.
Don't sit next to him.
No. Oh, that goes for my car. Like, it bugs me. I purposely park clear in the back, and then like other people will park right next to me. I'm like, what the heck, guys?
I will move. I will get up and I will move. And I don't care if that hurts your feelings or not. I am not sitting next to you.
There was one movie that I went and seen. This was back in the days before there were assigned seats, that we were sitting there watching a movie, and then like people came in late after the movie had already started. This big family like that were like very large, very tall, and like sat right in front of us. I'm like, you got the whole bleeping theater. Everywhere else you can like pick another seat. Yeah, but they picked right in front of us. I'm like, really? Like, I said that. I'm like, really? And then, like, we moved over a little bit.
Yeah.
But that was back before assigned seating.
Correct.
Yeah. And that's another thing. Showing up late to a movie.
Do it as quiet as possible.
Yeah, if you are going to, but they give you so much time before the movie starts.
There's about 20 to 30 minutes.
Yes. That you can easily make it. I mean, there's no excuse showing up 10, 15 minutes after the movie is started.
Yeah.
I think.
No, personally, yeah.
I mean,
that and also, okay, so when we did go to Detective Pikachu, we were walking up to our seats, and then we realized that there was like the whole row, and we were towards the end of the other side, so we walked back down, and like this was before the movie even started, but we walked back down and walked over and then walked back to our seats because we only had to pass like 2 people.
Yeah.
But that's a heck of a lot better than having to pass like a whole entire row. Yeah.
Also, no farting. Don't fart in the theater. We're all stuck there next to you. It's so hard to pinpoint who did it and give them the shame stare.
The stink eye.
The stink eye. But just, I mean, I'm a pretty bad offender of this. I'm a gassy person myself. But don't fart. Nobody likes to smell that. And
unless you're there by yourself, then go ahead.
Fart away.
The theater employees will make fun of you. Believe me, I know.
Really?
Oh, yeah. We can smell it when we walk in there. Because that's a pretty contained area. So if it's really bad...
There's like one person?
We can smell it. That's why we have air fresheners in the theater.
Purposely, like, use them, when they walk out. Just to shame them. They have to walk through a mist, of just the air fresheners.
Also... treat the movie theater like you're camping. If you packed it in, pack it out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Agreed.
Don't be like, oh, but they're paid to clean it. Just clean it after.
No, because a lot of the times they're only allotted like 2 minutes, before like another movie. Yeah. So all you're able to do is just kind of like sweep up it. Like, I guess if you were to, and this was like, I watched a video or something where they were saying, if you are going to leave something, at least like put it up in the seat. If you're not going to take it with you. So they can quickly grab it rather than putting it underneath or hidden away somewhere or...
Oh, yeah. I ran into that all the time when I was working at Megaplex. Our biggest theater held...
Number 4
held over, what was it, 600?
There's a lot of seats, yeah.
About that. Maybe less, not that they've kind of put recliners and stuff in there, but it's still a heck of a lot of people. And so if you think that everybody in there has at least 1 popcorn and 1 soda... All right, that's over 1,200 items
that you have to clean out.
That we have to clean up. And if we have 10, 15 minutes to do it, stuff is going to get left there.
Yeah.
So if you're going to come out and complain about a dirty theater, well, guess what? It was your fault in the first place. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I hated that. I hated that so much.
Just take it with you. It just takes a second. Like you guys even come in before the movie ends, and you're holding like dumpsters and trash bins.
We have a trash can right there.
Yeah, because like those other ones get like pretty full pretty quick.
Yeah. Or and the people. This always made me laugh. People come up to the trash can and say, "Can I throw my stuff in there?"
Yeah, it's a trash can, dude.
What else would you do?
Nope.
This trash can?
No.
I was gonna fill it with water and swim in it.
Yeah, it's like, what do you think? This is the trash can.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
And I was going to say something else, and I can't remember what it was. Dang it. I
think that's the majority of them.
I think we pretty much covered everything.
Just be considerate.
Oh, yeah. Movie theater, this is not a steakhouse, all right? It's not a place where you can just take all your peanut shells and just throw them onto the floor. Or your sunflower seed shells and just spit them on the floor.
That's so gross. That's nasty.
No.
Bad
patron. Bad. Yeah, I ran into that all the
time. I'm going to rub your nose in it.
Especially considering sunflowers can't be purchased at the concession counter.
They cannot.
So you not only did you not make any money off of that person because theaters don't make money off of ticket sales.
Not until it's been in theaters like at least a couple months.
Yeah. And most people know when you're sneaking in food. It's fairly obvious.
Yeah.
Most employees don't care.
Mm-hmm. Right. Honestly. Like, I don't get paid enough. I don't care.
Down the Megaplex, you could bring in literally a 6-inch sub or 6-foot sub. They're not going to care.
Yeah. They will care, however, if you're not cleanly.
Yeah, if you leave it, that's when they care. That's when they get upset.
It's got on one of those like boards, like one of those subs.
I mean, they basically made a deal with all the restaurants around that theater that you can bring in their food.
Right.
Like that's not a problem. But if you continue to leave it there, that rule is going to change. Mm-hmm. And they're going to go back to absolutely no outside food or drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
That was my favorite when I found out you could bring Costa Vida in.
Yeah.
Man, love this place.
You can bring Costa Vida, Five Guys, whatever's around there, you can bring in.
Cooper's. No.
Totally fine.
I do have to bring this up really quickly.
Yeah.
Yes. I brought over the first, it'd been staring at me for a while, and I've been meaning to get to it. Star Trek Discovery, Season 1. I've kind of wanted to check it out. But I was going to make a deal with Troy here to go ahead and watch Firefly, and I'll watch Discovery.
Okay.
Tell you what I think of it.
All right, we'll report back. Yeah, and if you like Season 1, they just finished Season 2 of Discovery, so...
Really?
Yeah, if you like that, you can go on to Season 2. There's no Season 2 of Firefly.
Yeah. There's a movie, though.
Yeah.
I'll do that. I'll watch the movie as well.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. So I'll take this next week, and I'll watch these, and I'll report back.
Sweet.
All right. I think that's pretty much everything. By the way, see what my wallpaper is on my phone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good old Anna Kendrick. Had to do it. All right. So, here's where you can find us. You can find all of our episodes at worldwarg.podbean.com. We're also on iTunes, Google Play, and cosmicpotato.com. On the social media, you can find us at facebook.com/worldwargpodcast. We're also on Twitter and Instagram. Just search at WWG Podcast. You can find all of our merchandise at shop.spreadshirt.com/worldwarg.
Troy.
Yes.
Okay, I have to. No, because you're going to be mad if you don't. Our phone call.
Oh, Joel. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Forgot again. Sorry, Joel. Next week. We'll do it next week.
That's the third time.
I know. At this point, it's just kind of become ridiculous. I'm sorry. Okay. Please, Joel, call back if you want. But the gist of the call was he agrees with me that Bo Peep will probably be the villain in Toy Story 4. And I think he wanted to know what you guys thought of that, or if you think that maybe they'll bring back maybe characters from other Toy Story films.
Make kind of a cameo.
Kind of cameos, that sort of thing. So that was basically the gist of the call.
Okay.
Sorry, Joel, that was my bad. Call back, please.
At.
Get to that. But you can also email us anytime.
Day or night.
At worldwgpodcast@gmail.com. Sorry, I just got to laugh because you were just like, Troy!
I know, I was contemplating yelling it again and just being like, oh, no, then I just want to remember your name.
You can also call the show anytime at 385-240-1692, just like Joel did like a month ago. He forgot to get to his call. So, this has been World War G episode 219. That has been AJ.
That has been Troy.
You've been a listener. They're not going to do it.
No, they're not going to do it. Nobody ever called.
I've been Colton. There we go.
Stay geeky, my friends.